In this video, we will learn about structure in C++. Let us first understand the definition of a structure. A structure is a user-defined data type. It allows us to group together variables of different data types under a common name. This is similar to arrays. We have already covered the topic of arrays, where we have seen that array is also a user-defined data type that groups together elements of the same type. So we can have an integer type array where all integer or non-decimal values can be grouped together. We can have floating point type array which contains decimal points, and we may have character array also. On the other hand, in case of a structure, we have elements of different data types grouped together under a common name. So as seen in this example, we have a structure called employee. This is a user-defined structure which consists of three different variables. One is empid, which is of integer type. Second is salary, which is floating point type. And third is name, which is character array type. And all of these entities or variables which belong to a structure are called as the members of a structure. So here we have a small comparison between an array and a structure. An array is a collection of homogeneous or same type of data items. On the other hand, a structure is a collection of heterogeneous or different type of data items. In case of array, we don't have to use any keyword, but in case of structure, we must use the keyword struct in order to create a structure. And third difference is that in case of arrays, elements are accessed using index values or positions. On the other hand, structure elements are accessed using their names. In order to create a structure within our program, we need to first specify the keyword struct followed by the name of the structure, which is written according to the rules for identifiers. Then within a pair of curly brackets, we mention all the variables along with their data types which are the members of the structure. So let us see how to create a structure in a C++ program. As you may see, I have already included the top two lines of my C++ program, #include iostream and using namespace standard. After this, I am going to declare my structure. Suppose I want to create a structure to store the details of an employee, then the syntax would be to first type the keyword struct and then to give my structure a name. Since I am going to store the details of an employee, let's call this structure as employee, and after that I am going to type a pair of curly brackets followed by a semicolon, and then inside these brackets I am going to include all the elements that belong to this structure. I can store employee ID, employee name and employee salary. Let's begin with employee ID. You know that every organization gives some unique ID to employees, which is a numeric value, and therefore we can include data type as int, and employee ID can be written as empid, semicolon. Then every employee has a name, so it is a string value, so I am going to type string name. And finally we have salary, which is usually in decimal points, so float salary. And this is how we have created our first structure. In order to access any single or all the members of a structure, we need to create a special variable which is called as a structure variable. A structure variable is an instance of a structure. In fact, the space in memory for a structure is reserved only when we create a structure variable. We can declare a structure variable using two methods. Here is the syntax for the first method. We have to specify the keyword struct followed by the structure name, and then we mention the structure variable name again according to the rules for identifiers. Second method is a shortcut method where we mention the structure variable name just before putting the last semicolon after defining the whole structure. As mentioned earlier, structure variables are required to access members of a structure, and members of a structure can be accessed using dot operator. Syntax is you mention the structure variable name, then put a dot operator and then specify the member name. In the last step, we had created our structure called employee having three members, employee ID, name and salary. Now it's time to declare our structure variable, and for that we need to go inside the main function. So here I am going to declare my structure variable by typing the keyword struct followed by the name of the structure for which I am creating this variable. So my structure name is employee, and let's say my structure variable name is E, and then I will put a semicolon over here. In the next step, I am going to assign values to structure members using this structure variable. So here I am going to put E dot, and as soon as I have pressed dot, you can see a pop-up menu is displaying, and it contains all the variable names which are a part of the structure. So I am going to select the first one, which is empid, and now I will put one assignment operator and give it some value. Let's say the employee ID is 1001, and then I will put a semicolon. Same thing I have to repeat for rest of the members. So I will type E dot, and now this time I am going to select name and then equal to, and name is a string value, so I will have to type my value within double quotation marks. Let's suppose the name is Taylor, and then I will type here semicolon. In the last step we will have E dot, and the third variable is salary. Here I will type equal to sign, and let's suppose the salary is 24,567.00 and then semicolon. Now before moving on, I want to show you that if we skip E dot here or anywhere over here while assigning the values or while displaying, what will happen? So let's run this program and see if it works properly. Well, no, because it is saying that there is an error that salary was not declared in the scope. This will happen if you skip E dot here also, or even if you skip it here. Let's run this, and you may see all the variables are showing error because they are not being identified by the compiler. That's because these variables are local to the structure and we cannot access them outside the structure without using the structure variable, and that is why we said that structure variable is used to access the members of the structure. Now let's run this program and hopefully it will work fine. Yes, as you can see, the output is showing properly. All the values which I entered are displaying. Let's see how much memory space is reserved at the backend for our structure variable E. In this case, our employee ID is of integer type, which means it will take 4 bytes in memory. String value name will take 32 bytes, and float salary, which is a floating point type value, will take 4 bytes again. When we add them together, we get 40 bytes, and that means our structure variable E has taken up 40 bytes at the backend. We may also declare multiple structure variables at the same time. Here you can see we have first defined the structure. Here the name of the structure is my structure, consisting of 3 different variables: int x, float y, and char z. These are the members of the structure, and once the structure definition is created, we have created structure variables. So the syntax is keyword struct, then the name of the structure is written, and after that we define structure variables. So we have 3 variables here: var1, var2 and var3. So what happens here? As soon as we declare these 3 variables, space for each of these is reserved in memory. And as you can see here, var1 has space reserved for integer x, float y and char z. Same is the case with var2 and var3. Now you might be thinking, why to use structures? Well, firstly, it helps in organizing our data. By creating a separate structure, we can organize our data more efficiently. Secondly, it helps in manipulating the data easily. And third is that it increases code readability. It becomes easier to understand, manipulate and read the code.